audience, are you ready for another exciting round of America's #1 game show?
Yeah.
Then let's get this thing started!
Oh boy, let me tell you how excited I am to be up on the stage here, Mick. Another day, another Battle Royale, and today's Battle Royale is of notable fashion, mostly because it comes from Boss Key Studios, the guys that brought you the complete failure of a game, Lawbreakers, which, by the way, came out August 8th in 2017, so it's only been 8 months between the release of Lawbreakers and the release of Radical Heights between these two games. Now, the reason why Radical Heights and Boss Key Studios and Lawbreakers is of notable concern for anybody interested in first-person shooters is because it was headed up by Cliffy B, the man behind the Gears of War series, and who was a notable developer at the time during the Unreal Tournament series. But you have to ask the question, was Gears of War a good game because the studio as a whole was working really well at the time, or was it because Cliffy B was there? Due to the recent failure of Lawbreakers, it definitely brings into question maybe Cliffy B isn't as good as everybody touts him around to be. Now, some of you may think, oh, so they've only been working on this game for 8 months. Now, if I'm a betting man, August 8th to now is an 8-month period, but I guarantee you they started working on this game, Radical Heights, probably in April or May of 2017, when they saw the popularity of PUBG really start to skyrocket. So it's got about a year's development time underneath its belt, but it is still very clearly extremely early access. But the big question, is it fun? Yeah, it's about as much fun as you can have running around in short shorts, creaming dudes with vintage 80s effects synthwaves going on. I should think about my thoughts before I vocalize them. But it is really fun. It's got a fast-paced battle royale feel to it. It's free, first off, so, I mean, there's nothing to pay in. You literally have nothing to lose to go try this game out, except maybe 10 or 15 minutes downloading this game. It's free. By all means, I encourage you to go try this game for yourself more than anything, because it's free. You're not going to spend any money on it unless you buy into the microtransactions, which but it does. It has a fast-paced battle royale feel to it. The microtransactions currently are purely cosmetic in current form, but more on those in just a second. The game has its obvious issues, like an extreme need for balancing, because some of those things, some of the weapons in the game just have way too fast of a time to kill. Like AK-47s, they're cheap and their time to kill is ridiculously fast compared to something like M16s, which are within the same price range and rarity and commonality that you find them on the map. There are a ton of fundamental gameplay issues like loot spawns. In my opinion, the loot spawns here are about 3 times as worse as PUBG. It's actually really hard to find any kind of good loot some of the times. I mean, there's games I've gotten into the top 10 and all I have is a white SMG. There are some visual effects issues, I think with the anti-aliasing and the vintage 80s effects that they're trying to apply, that makes it impossible to see people at distances unless you're using a scoped weapon. Like, you literally have no chance in being able to see a person unless you have a scoped weapon, and following tracers can work sometimes, but it's still a little bit difficult. And then there's some fundamental gun shooting issues or gameplay issues, like being able to shoot somebody fully automatic while somersaulting across a lawn. And that's just a general gameplay issue that'll have to be addressed and fixed over time, but again, it's a little bit to be at the start of the game. In all reality, this game is absolutely early access to the core. Might be one of the most early access games I've ever seen, and it has a ton of balancing issues between loot, guns, time to kill, gameplay, bugs, visual bugs, graphical enhancements and changes, and things that they might have overdone. I mean, if you're talking about issues, it's got the gambit of issues across the board. You couldn't ask for a game with more issues in early access, but it is fun. I mean, it is really fun. Now, there are some pretty blatant rip-offs of systems from PUBG and Fortnite that seem to be mashed together, but the concept of the game is there and is somewhat unique in comparison to the other two. For instance, the final shoot-off, when there's only 3 people left, you have about 3 minutes to get to a circle, and from there, the game will go on. Now, the mid-game to late game definitely needs to be a lot faster. The map's just too wide open for that many people. Matches take a little bit too long, in my opinion. The armor system is definitely a blatant rip-off of PUBG, level 1, 2, 3 helmets and body armor. along with some other weapons and ammo systems. The weapons and ammo systems ripoff actually comes from Fortnite. However, the inventory is a little bit unique. Still kind of a ripoff of Fortnite though. You have 3 weapon slots and you have 3 utility slots that are things like grenades, smoke grenades, confetti bombs, things like that. And that allows you to carry 3 weapons and 3 utilities, so 6 items in total, which gives you a little bit more flexibility as a whole. And of course, there are unique loot drops in the game, like Spin to Win. Basically, it's a box that drops from the sky that still has some issues, because it can land inside rocks and you can't actually get your prize, so you spend time, you know, risking your life in the game to go out there and get rewarded for nothing because it's glitched inside the rock. But it can reward you with a number of things that can help you win the game. There's also the prize pool, like Price is Right type Bob Barker coming out here giving you shit, where you have to stand in this little square for so long and dance around, and then the back will open up and there'll be a bunch of prizes there. Sometimes it's a lot of good stuff, sometimes it's like jack shit. And then on to the microtransactions. They were working perfectly day 1, day 2, day 3. They've been working perfectly since the game was out. The microtransaction system has never faltered and is extremely polished and refined. However, the rest of the game has got so many fucking issues. The laundry list is exhausting that I've talked about in this 6 minutes here, that it boggles my mind how many issues this game has. This game was definitely not ready for release. What this game screams to me from Boss Key Studios is, quick, release something before we go under, because Lawbreakers was a total failure for them and did very little in terms of monetary gain. If anything, I think they probably actually lost money on Lawbreakers. So just knowing that in general kind of puts a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth about how you want to approach Radical Heights. Do I like the theme? Yeah. Do I like the gameplay? Yeah. But the issues that it has are so huge. The possibilities for the game are radically high, and it is, again, as much fun as you can have in short shorts shooting dudes. It doesn't sound good no matter how I say it, but it's a lot of fun. I just wish they'd hold off 3 or 4 months before releasing it and polished it some more, because even huge swaths of the map aren't finished. Most of the buildings, in fact a large portion of the buildings, still have a gray grid texture on them. It definitely needs a lot more time to cook. Is it worth your time now? No. Stick to PUBG or Fortnite. If you're looking for something different from PUBG or Fortnite, maybe give it a try, but I wouldn't change it out for your main game currently. In the next 3 to 6 months though, this game has a lot of serious potential to go places that PUBG or Fortnite couldn't, just because of how it kind of addresses the audience. Even with that sour taste left in your mouth about the microtransactions working perfectly from the get-go and everything else having a huge amount of problems, Radical Heights could be a seriously good change to the market and apply some pressure to PUBG and Fortnite and make them both step their game up, because God knows we're waiting for that. I'm Guns, that's my thoughts on Radical Heights. Yes, we'll have more gameplay and guides coming on it in the future. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications by smashing that bell. That's such a dumb saying. Follow me on Twitter if you'd like to see when I'm streaming, when I'm going to post new videos, or if you'd just like to talk to me in general at the number 3 GUNSDOWN, or you can watch me live over at twitch.tv/GUNZGAMES. I'm Guns. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you later. GG.